New York performer and Charleston native Tahlia Robinson returns home for her first solo Piccolo Spoleto show, The Real Bubble Lives of Building 104. I speak exclusively with Tahlia for a special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores.
Tahlia!
Hi.
It's so good to meet you.
It's good to meet you too.
As I mentioned off camera, I know your mom, Dr. Lou. Having worked with her when I was a student at Triton Tech 10 years ago. But now it's all about you. The Charleston Chronicle headline reads this: New York performer returns home to debut in Piccolo Spoleto. And it reads just like this: Tahlia Robinson, a New York performer and Charleston native, will debut her solo show, The Real Bubble Lives of Building 104, during Piccolo Spoleto May 31st to June 3rd. Tell me why now, why Piccolo?
Well, I've always wanted to be in Piccolo. So my goal is, can you write a show? Is it going to work for Piccolo? It's kind of like a test run, because if you can work for Piccolo, you can go to other festivals and just keep the ball rolling. And so it's like, can we do it? Yes, let's give it a shot. They accepted me, so I was like, all right, okay, well, then we're going to Piccolo.
Yes, indeed. And what is it like for you to be here, back home, emotionally?
Emotionally, my tummy is very happy to be home because I can get some red rice and I can get some link sausage. I am just so excited to be here.
Yes.
It's kind of when you first come off of the airport and you smell the air and you're like, yes, yes, I'm so excited.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Well, let me get back to it. The Real Bubble Lives of Building 104.
Yes.
What do you want the headline to be about that particular show?
That it's a fun, silly show. That's it. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
And you talk about, obviously, this is a fictional show, but it talks about 4 different characters that live in their own bubbles on the Upper East Side of New York City. Tell me, what is life like for you in New York City right now?
New York City is a whole different world. You can go to different worlds just by riding a train. You can view a totally different side of life on the train. There's a lot. It's like 24 hours a day at full octane, like all the time. It's in your face all the time. And you have people, you're surrounded by people all the time, but people live to themselves. It's really interesting because you're here and you walk down the street, everyone says hello. New York, no one will say hi. No, not at all. But you're around people a lot. So that concept of that is really interesting to me. And then Bubble Lives is just like a Real Housewives of so-and-so, or the Real Love and Hip Hop of so-and-so. It's kind of like that. So it's just, these are these women.
All the shows that I watch.
But what's going on with Scrappy, though? You know,
right.
That's what I want to know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And it reads this in the Chronicle newspaper. It reads this: obviously, Tahlia Robinson currently lives and performs in New York City. She's a 2001 Ashley Hall graduate and a 2005 Columbia College graduate. From 2001 to right now, who is Tahlia Robinson?
She is a very hungry person who just wants to eat all of the candy that she can possibly find throughout the world. Any new candy you have, hit me up at tahliasworld.com. You know, let's put it on the gram. I love candy. But she's just a woman that likes to express herself. And so I express myself through comedy. I express myself through comedy and music. I'm like a prism. Whatever I get in, I just send it right back out.
You talk about comedy and improv. What part of that describes you?
All of it in one. With my comedy journey started in improv. Improv is a great foundation to have because if you're in a sketch or you're in a play and you don't know where you are, you can fall back on your skills. I started here in Charleston at Theater 99.
Yes.
That's my home, away from home. And from there, you kind of learn the foundation of the basics. And you can go to places like New York and Chicago and LA.
Right.
In New York, you do something more of a game theory for improv. Chicago is more scene work. And LA is more character work. So it's very, very nerdy, very, very nerdy comedy stuff. But you go there to study. And you study and you figure out kind of what you want to do. And in New York, there's like so many things in comedy you can do. If you just want to have a comedy show about a banana, you can do that. You can do anything you want. But once you figure that out and you try out everything, you can kind of figure out your voice and kind of shake it out and be like, oh, stand-up's more for me. Oh, no, I don't really like that. I like this is kind of more for me. Like sketch writing's more for me. Like, so you can figure out your voice. The whole thing is about figuring out your voice.
Have you found your voice yet?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I love projecting things through characters because characters are like the most heightened version of ourselves you can see. And sometimes you can discuss issues through a heightened version of someone rather than just through like me and you talking here, but if I have a heightened version of myself, then we can talk about racist tweets on Twitter, and we can talk about things like that because everything's loosey-goosey now, and you just have a heightened version of yourself. It's a way to funnel through like social, political justice, all these things you can funnel through comedy.
What issues, current issues, do you want to use as far as comedy improv?
Well, with improv, you can funnel so much through improv because improv is all about your base reality. And when you're in things like improv, what is my base reality versus another performer's base reality? So you can talk a lot about socioeconomics, roles of women in society usually come up, or of how you portray women usually comes up in there because with improv, you're usually around men. Unless you have like an all-women group,
right.
That's what you're in. And so oftentimes you'll get labeled as a girlfriend, as the wife, as this. And as a performer, you just have to have the tools in your tool belt to kind of deal with that and deal with that in the world, or to flip it on their head and see it's something they didn't see coming. So.
What's that one word to describe your feature?
Unwritten.
How do you want it to be written?
We'll figure it out as it goes along. Things keep changing, and what I gravitate towards may change in 6 to 8 months. So we'll see. We'll find out when we get there. As long as I'm having fun, then that's fine with me.
Yes, ma'am. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, Tahlia Robinson, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this. Enjoyed it. Thank you greatly.
You're welcome.
Yes, anytime.